Things we do. It is freezing cold this morning, guys. We've given up, I think, any hope of doing anything on.
No, we're not. We're still doing that.
Oh, we are still doing that. It's mad. But we are going to do the test drive. Got this cold this morning. Clearly those new glow plugs work because that started the first time.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Raptor's Garage. As you know, we've finished the inside of the truck. I know I haven't finished all of it, but we're going to do them in a separate video when I've got a bit more time. But now we're on to the power upgrades. As you've seen from the little teaser video that we did the other day, we've got the new manifold, the new twin pipe manifold from Fourby to put in, and I'm going to start doing that now. What I've got to do first though is pull out the injectors and get them over to the diesel fitters to have new nozzles fitted. Just before I get all oily under the bonnet, I thought I'd just show you the inside of the truck where I've just put those Defender sun visors in. They don't look too bad, they've gone in really well actually. So yeah, they've gone in quite nicely. Just thought I'd show you them. That was one of my last jobs to do. But right, back on with the oily bits. Right guys, you know these injectors have been out before and it's a fairly straightforward job to do. What I'm going to do is literally undo the bolt for the spill pipe, undo the bolt for the injector fuel pipe, unbolt the injector retaining bolt, excuse me, unbolt the injector retaining bolt and pull the injector. Now these were out not that long ago, so I'm not thinking they're going to be hard to get out. If they are, we've got an injector puller here. I think this one was the one I had trouble with last time, but they've all been cleaned and greased before they went back in, and that was like only 5,000–6,000 miles ago, so hopefully they'll just come out. So I'm going to shut up and start unbolting stuff. Oh, that was tight. get your handy dandy diesel puller. This is the one we had from Fourby last time when we couldn't get it apart. Just to pull it out. It's amazing how much dirt and crud gets down there. There you go. There's number one. Now all I've got to do is repeat that 3 more times. Well, that's just typical. Once I turned the camera off, I had problems getting one of the injectors out, so you didn't get to see me using that Fourby injector puller. But again, it saved me life. There's me back. That's number 4. Come out really clean. Number 3. Come out really clean. And number 2. Absolutely rusted in solid. So I'm going to clean the actual bore that sits in. I don't know why that one. I mean, they were cleaned not that long ago when we last took them out. So I don't know why that's so rusted up. Can't understand it. Then again, I have jet washed the engine, so water has got in there, and it did stand for a few weeks while we've been working on it. So it could be a combination of all of that. But that injector puller got it out again. So I mean, that's what they should look like. But now all I've got to do is get these over to the diesel fitters. And I say, I've got to get them over to the diesel fitters. I'm sending Karen. So if you don't know what we're having done, let me just show you. Hang on. We're having these 2.8 litre injector nozzles fitted rather than the 2.5 injector nozzles. Now, I could just put the nozzles on myself. It's only a case of just unbolting the nozzle tip, splitting the casing, pulling the nozzle out and putting them back together. That's how simple it is, just putting bigger nozzles on. But I haven't got a spray tester. Now, a spray tester gives you the pattern of how the diesel's coming out of the injector. I haven't got one, so to get a guarantee on these, it does actually say you need to have them professionally fitted. So when I told Neil what I was doing, he said make sure you get them fitted by a diesel fitter, which I was going to anyway, because I do want to have a spray test on them just to make sure they're right. So the next job is to put these back in when those nozzles are fitted. So some time will elapse and I'll be back. Well guys, some time has elapsed. In fact, it's the next day and my injectors are back. Diesel fitters only actually took half an hour to do them. So Karen took them up there and had the new nozzles put on. So I've got a set of nice new, hang on, let me get them in shot for you. Nice new 2.8 injectors. They've been really good. They've put a new set of copper washers on, and they've even supplied me with a full set of washers for I'm trying to think what they're called, spill pipe washers. So they've done all the washers. They've even cleaned them. They've had them in their cleaner. Literally took them half an hour to do them. 36 quid. Wasn't worth doing it myself really for that much money, and they're tested and done. So now all I've got to do is put them back in. Got a new inlet manifold gasket. That's for putting the inlet manifold on. But the only thing I'm waiting for is new set of glow plugs. Now, here is my glow plugs. None of them work. I've tested them all and I hadn't got a single working glow plug. So hopefully I've got a new set of, I'm trying to think what they are, Delphi ones? New set of Delphi ones coming tomorrow. So I'm waiting on them. But now I'm going to put the injectors back in. Right guys, we're back here. Just about to put these injectors in. What I'm going to just do is do the one, because you've seen me take them out. Taking them out is just the reverse of putting them in, I guess, or is that the wrong way around? I think about that. But hang on, let me get in shot. Obviously all you got to do is put them back in. Remember to take the rubber cap off the end, it does help. Make sure you get them in the right way round, because you want that bolt hole on the front of there for the spill pipe to bolt on. And I have done it before now, and I've put them in backwards and thought, oh bugger, now I've got to take it out. So I'm just going to put a little bit of grease on these. A little bit of grease also helps to hold, focus. If you put a little bit of grease on the back of the washer there, just helps to hold it in place while you drop it in. Because I always have this thing about when I'm putting them in, I think, has the washer just dropped off there? So I always just literally just glue them on with a little bit of grease. Put a little bit of grease on the actual injector itself, and it does help to stop the rust. But yeah, there we go. Let's get these in. Literally, I only just put a smidgen on. Yeah, greasy. New injector. Oh, they are. It did actually focus. No, it's changed its mind. Oh, okay. Nearly did it. That was kind of painless. Now I did clean out all of the injector welds before I put these in. Right, torque them down. Cool, they're all torqued down to 25 Newton meters. So all I've got to do now, guys, is put the spill pipes back on. It's going to be fun because I'm going to have to pry them off because they're really tight. Right, something to pry them out with. Normally you can unwind these just don't want to come out. And get a little pair of grips. This is just going to be one of them fiddly jobs to get them all off. I think what it is I think these have all slightly crimped or been compressed a bit. They don't want to come off. Right, that's got it. Once you can get started on the thread, they come off. There we go. Right, stick the spill pipes back in the engine. Clean up the spill pipe nut. I'll come closer to you, so there's your spill pipe nut. Put one washer on that side. And one on the face side. Now my book says tighten these up to 10 Newton meters. So that's what my book says to do, so that's what I'm going to do. And these are nice and easy to do, they're just 10 Newton meters. So saying I can't get the what's it done. Ten and 10. Done. Right, the next job, dead easy, just connect up your diesel pipes. There is a torque setting for them, but as you've got to put them on with a spanner, you'll just have to do it by feel. I forget what it is now, I did have a look, it was something like 20 Newton meters or 25, but you can't put a socket on it, and I don't have a torque spanner, so yeah, it will be tightened up till they don't leak. I'm just going to nip these up for now, and I'll check them for leaks once everything's running. Just do them by feel. They feel pretty good, shouldn't have much of an issue with them. Right, glow plugs. Well, they won't be here till tomorrow, so next job, take the inlet manifold off. The next job is to take the inlet manifold off. Not a hard job. From memory, I think there's something like about 8 bolts, 8 or 10 bolts. I didn't look on the gasket in there how many holes there were in it, but it's not a very hard job to do. We could get away with just taking the inlet manifold off and swapping it out for the new one, but I think for what we're doing, I'm going to end up taking the exhaust manifold off as well, put a new gasket in, torque everything back up, and just, you know, do it all properly. For the 4 or 5 quid that it cost me for the gasket, I might as well just put a new gasket in. But I'm going to do that tomorrow. I should be back fairly early tomorrow, so hopefully in the daylight we can pull the truck out and we can see much better what I'm actually going to be doing. But if the glow plugs turn up tomorrow, there's no reason why we can't have this running tomorrow and getting it ready for a road test. Hi guys, well it's the next day and Chris is here.
Popped in for coffee.
And spannering.
And he's fixing my car again for me.
and he's driven all the way here with no brake lights.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've put that new set of glow plugs in. I didn't need to film that. They just screw in, they're easy to do. But we're about to take this manifold off now, and Chris is going to give me a hand whip this manifold off, and we're going to get this new one put on. I'm going to start with the bolts that I can see, which aren't that size. You know that 10mm socket I said that you definitely need? It's that 10mm socket that you definitely need. That's why I put rubber mats on top of all the batteries.
It's not a bad idea, because I've often when I'm messing around the engine, I'm thinking don't put anything near your battery.
Where do you always put the spanners?
Yeah,
on top of the battery.
Yeah.
And I've melted more sockets.
And I remember from being a kid that because my girlfriend at the time, her dad was a bit of a mechanic, and he said he's seen a spanner weld itself across the battery terminals.
Oh yeah, I've done it. Yeah. I've completely vaporised the spanner before then. And you may say, well, don't put spanners on top of the what's.
Yeah, but it's or even just one sliding off, and when you put it on the airbox, it slides off.
Where do you always put them?
Yeah.
Put them right there.
Yeah. Like that. And if you're frustrated and you're broken down the side of the road and you're messing about trying to get something working.
Are you saying Land Rovers break down on the side of the road?
No, not Chris, no.
Stage 1 power upgrade.
So what will stage 2 start to be? Because obviously there's no such thing as remapping on this, is there?
No.
Which is kind of nice, because it's like, you can do it on a computer. Why was it not just done when I left the factory? And why hold back? Well, when they say we can remap it and make it more fuel efficient, why the fuck is it not made fuel efficient as it possibly can be out of the freaking factory?
Because factory maps, when they do them, have loads of different
criteria.
Yeah, it's like they want longevity out of the engine, so they don't want to strain the engine. They've got to meet their emissions, haven't they?
Mm. Unless you're Volkswagen.
Unless you're Volkswagen, then you just lie about it. Or just reprogram the computer every time it goes near an MOT station, isn't it? Salty!
So yeah, so stage 2, what would you do then? What would be involved? Is that like what you're about to do, change the head? All that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Start getting it breathing, and stage 2 starts involving, you're starting to change cams and things as well, aren't you? So,
yeah.
Which, it's one of them, isn't it? You start putting strain on all the other parts of the engine now, then you're onto bearings and cranks and...
It's like with the suspension, as soon as you put bigger stuff on it, something else will start to give and break, and you've got to replace it. It's an ongoing.
I want more drivability, not even more power, just more drivability. Because that's the aim of all of this, isn't it? It's to make it more...
Yeah, we're not going fast off-road, we're not going that fast down the motorway. It's just, when you pull out from that big wagon to get past them on a hill, you don't want to be sat there for 5 minutes driving alongside the Arctic thinking, oh no, I'm just holding everybody else up behind me.
There's also the what's it about getting more power out of this engine, is that this truck now weighs nearly a tonne more than it did when it left the factory as well. So we're straining everything anyway. But that's what you do when you make them overland vehicles. You end up making them a lot heavier than what they were supposed to be, or should be. Or that's why we've got upgraded brakes, upgraded suspension. But inevitably, you're going to make it heavier, aren't you? Because you're going to put wheels and tyres, bigger suspension,
front bumper with a winch,
front bumper and a winch,
roof tent on the roof,
steering guard,
full of all the equipment.
And then you're going to stick a trailer behind it. Then a boat.
And jet skis.
All at once. Not doing it by arms, I'm going to put them all on together.
A convoy.
Right, there we go. We've got the manifold off. Really, that is all I had to... Really, I can't speak now. Really, that is all I had to do, was take that top bolt out and loosen the bottom bolt to remove the manifold. But I am going to put a new gasket in, like I said last night. There's no point doing all of this and not just putting a new gasket in. I mean, I could put some sealing paste around the new one and just put it straight back on, and really I only have to undo the 2 bolts. But actually that's quite clean, isn't it? Actually got shiny bits in it. But we're going to take the rest of the manifold off, fire a new gasket on, and then reassemble this and torque everything back up.
As long as you can pull that back enough to get the gasket on, is that all you're going to do? You're not going to...
That's all I need to do. There you go, guys. One gasket. There's not a lot you can say about it. It was in good nick. Hadn't gone. It's only about 12 months old, actually. About a year since she did the turbo.
Is it?
No.
I said, about 18 months, I think.
But so saying, it had actually gone. It was blowing.
Right, Oh, yeah.
So that's why I've gone for a completely composite gasket this time.
Right.
Last time I did the turbo on this, I couldn't remember what gasket I put back on. This is a metal and composite one. This one is a completely composite one. So hopefully this will seal better because it will compress better. So once we get this back on, we're going to road test this on Sunday.
Because that is it, isn't it? Got the injectors, the new inlet manifold, the boost pin, everything, boost ring, turbo controller, boost controller rather.
Yep.
you've already got the upgraded turbo fan, haven't you?
Yeah, I've already got the belly on it.
Spot on. Right, mate, I shall see you
In the morning.
in the morning.
I'll carry on bolting.
Send us a photo when it's done.
Yeah, it's going to look sexy. Right guys, so that's Chris making his escape. I'm just going to pull this up all on one bolt to start with, and then I'm just going to torque them all down to 45 Newton meters. Right, so that's the manifold back on. That's all nicely torqued up. So let's get the... That's worn me out actually. There's a lot of bolts there to put on. So let's put this inlet manifold on. The new one. Dun 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 dun. That's way overexposed. So let's get this new manifold in. That wasn't hard, was it? Right, I need the two long bolts and I need to get that tightened up. Wow! I know they're in there somewhere. There we go. It's kind of weird. I can't find a torque setting for this inlet manifold. I'm just going to have a quick look on the internet now to see if I can actually find it. There should be one. I found it. It's 25 Newton meters. I thought it would be, but it's always worth going and checking. I can't even find the bolt now. I know it's in there. Come on. Yep, want a bad gas. Right, now we've just got to put the outer pipe on and we are done. This is nearly ready for a road test. That's pretty much going to go like that. That's not a bad fit. That's pretty close. Cool. And these are already marked, so you know which pipe goes onto which. There you go, that's the short one, so that goes there. So, bob of oil on these. It's bad enough trying to jiggle one pipe up and mind two at a time. Especially when they're freezing cold like these are. Ah. Oh, actually they're not too bad, they go on quite well. Right, now it's just a case of lining everything up. My intercooler sits further over that way, so what I'm going to have to do is shorten that pipe to get a bit of a twist on it. So I need to shorten it so it goes back as well, so I need to push it on further. Okay, it's going to be a jiggling job. Well, that took a bit of jiggling, guys, to get that on. And clean it now. Now, I've got to check that I've got actual clearance on my bonnet, but I think I have. But I'm going to do that in a minute. But that gets that back in line with my intercooler. If that doesn't work and I'm going to have to rotate this over, what I'm going to have to do is take the front off and just shunt my intercooler over slightly. Because obviously this has been designed for a standard intercooler or a standard intercooler location. So hopefully I've got the clearance on the bonnet. We'll find out in a minute. That's 5mm extra gain. And bonnet shorts. Yeah, it's good. I've got clearance. Awesome. Let's get this job finished. Oh, come on, get on. Done, sorted. Well, it was a bit of jiggling to get it in,
Yeah.
as everyone's just seen, because I've got an aftermarket intercooler, but it's all gone in.
Nice.
Proof now will be in test driving it on Sunday.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
guys, we've got to wait till Sunday now, because my road tax doesn't start again
till
till Sunday. So, yeah, cool. Can't wait. We'll be back. I don't know if Karen will, because it's bleeding freezing out here.
So cold.
But, right, me and Chris, I'll see you on Sunday morning.
Things we do. It is freezing cold this morning, guys. We've given up, I think, any hope of doing anything on.
No, we're not. We're still doing that.
Oh, we are still doing that. It's mad. But we are going to do the test drive.
Well, just a shameless plug for this clock is, I love this clock, it's ace. Let me just reset it. There's my time, there's the date, that's the temperature in the car at the moment. It's freezing in here.
It's been in the garage all
And that's been in the garage. That one's tucked up in the dashboard, so it's getting a false reading, but that should be my external one. And there's my volts and my alternators working. Back to the time. Love that. Right, let's give this a test drive. It hasn't blown up yet, so we've managed to get out the drive. Well, we can do 4 miles an hour, so we're doing well. Okay, that sounds different,
doesn't it?
So we get some heat into this engine. That engine definitely sounds different then. I can't believe that's pulling through that gear. Just coming up onto boost now. Well, it feels better. Bearing in mind this engine's still stone cold.
And we are on a somewhat
skating
dubious
rink.
road. Yeah, exactly.
This is just solid ice.
We're not going to go quite too crazy this morning, guys, because common sense prevails.
Did that bit first.
Yeah.
It's never prevailed before.
Sounds very different.
Now I've got no speedo, that wire's fell off again. Sorry, alternator.
Right,
Rev counter.
rev counter, yeah.
That wire's fell off again. That's me cuckoo rattling around in the back. It's not fastened down. Nothing
been behind you many a time.
No, it doesn't. Right, that's third. That's 40 miles an hour. 50 miles an hour. 50 miles an hour in fourth. That's effortless. That's not even trying. 60 miles an hour, fifth gear. Touch over 2,000 revs. That's fifth gear, and it's still, that's 45 miles an hour, and it's pulling up out of it in fifth.
That's a boost.
We haven't gone over a bar of boost yet. That's still fifth gear at 40 miles an hour, and I'm still accelerating from there.
Watch it.
And that's all right. Fifth gear, 38 miles an hour, and I can still accelerate. It definitely sounds different.
That sounds very different.
It sounds like the airboxes and the glove box. Right, third gear, 25 miles an hour, and that's one bar of boost. Wow. Okay, let's do 40 miles an hour, fifth gear, put your foot down, and it's actually accelerating slowly, but it's still catching up with that traffic. Well, that's going to make there's no smoke, there's nothing. I'm going to put my foot flat to the floor, and there's nothing. That's perfect. We can probably turn the fuel on.
Yeah.
Oh, that really does just keep up with modern traffic now. That's fifth gear, and it's just.
It's one of those things you said about the drivability is the fact you've not got to keep going up and down the gears every time you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Whether it's well, it is. It's a combination of everything we've put on,
Yeah.
and the bigger injectors, and even with bigger injectors, we're getting no smoke at all off our exhaust. Nothing. That's perfectly clear. Oh, we've got a little bit there. Just a little puff of smoke as it came up onto boost. So if you watch that.
Yeah.
But it's effortless power. It's not. It doesn't feel like you're thrashing it. Go down to 16 and come back. Right, I've stuck Chris in the driver's seat now. So. And the stuff is still rattling around in the back. They're new and stiff.
Oh yeah, it got me. Yeah.
First impression?
I think what you've said is I wasn't expecting like being pressed back in the seat, but it is. I'm just driving this as if I'm driving a normal car. Big difference for me is when I jump in the Freelander, I'm jumping from my disco to a much more modern car, and that's kind of like what I feel like now. I've jumped in a car, very smooth acceleration. I'm only just touching the bloody accelerator. I'm not even giving it any poke. I think one of the big thing is what you've been saying all through is the drivability. It's making this feel like a more modern car.
Well, that's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah. You want to know, you're pulling out in traffic, you've got a bit of poke to get past things, you're coming off a roundabout, you're keeping up with the traffic.
When it's fully loaded,
And
it's still in fifth gear, and it still pulls. You put your the traffic's built. Go back round. And
I'm a lazy gear changer. I hate changing gear. And I should have bought an automatic, but
they shouldn't. They're dreadful.
Yeah, but the advantage now is that I'm not going to.
It's like driving an auto.
I'm surprising for considering how much heavier and bigger this car is.
Well, it's
a standard mine.
At the moment,
Very
it's
nice
about
drive.
2.6 tons because we're not fully loaded.
Now, see, third gear, I was down to 20 miles an hour.
And it still
I'm being
pulls.
lazy, I don't want to go to second, I'm too lazy. 25 miles an hour in third gear. Can't do that in the Toyota. I'm always changing up into third before I hit 30. Judders.
And you're still in third gear.
Yeah.
And you're doing 20 miles an hour.
It's perfect.
It's just getting that judder where you need to. Clear this side. You did all that in third, didn't you?
Yeah. That's great because I'm too lazy to change into second.
I mean, I could turn the fuel up. I could turn the boost up. I could get it more torquey, but I don't think it needs it. I think you're just going to wear bits out.
Yeah. Right guys, so this video we previously launched on this inlet manifold certainly had a lot of discussion going, didn't it?
Yeah.
Got people talking, which
Yeah.
is good. You know, people have obviously got opinions, what they think. So what do we think? What do you think? Because like I said, I've just driven it, and my only comparison to what I'm driving with a standard disco at the moment is I can't believe how much, considering it's a bigger, heavier vehicle on massive great tyres, it's such a nice, comfortable drive. That's the big thing for me. It was like driving, I wouldn't say a modern car, but it had the power, it was smooth, it was very stable. I was expecting it to be a lot more wallowy for such a big car.
Well,
But it's the first time I've driven it.
yeah. It is actually the first time you've actually ever driven my truck.
And I was
I
expecting
don't like
a
the
little shock between the two, but it wasn't. It was just like...
Mine, with all the suspension set up on it, we got the suspension sorted.
Yeah.
That was one of the what's-its that we did last time. We covered that in loads of videos.
Yeah.
But driving-wise, as in actual driving, it's no different because it's already all set up.
Yeah.
Power-wise, it's a different animal. I'd got plenty of boost before because I'd got the Morgan Hill boost pin in.
Yeah.
And you know that by the amount of smoke it was chucking out.
Yeah, because I used to be behind it.
Chris was sort of when we're I usually lead, Chris follows, and
More videos are making.
we're just doing videos, and we get a lot of black smoke, don't we?
Yeah.
Now I've driven it with the boost ring in,
Yeah.
which made a big difference. Well, it's like yours, isn't it? It made a big difference to that mid-range power, and cured a lot of the smoking I'd got. Then we've put the boost controller in.
Yeah.
So I've tweaked my boost now, so I'm getting slightly more air in, which has cured the smoking.
Yeah.
And now we've done this inlet manifold, we're getting even more air in.
Yeah.
Truck does not smoke at all now,
Yeah.
and it's got low down power.
Yeah.
Like you just found out, you've just come up the slip road in third gear at 20 miles an hour, and the car's not juddering, and it would still.
I ain't even got out of fifth.
You were still fifth.
I'm a lazy driver. I hate changing gears.
Oh right, well there you go. He was doing 20 miles an hour in fifth.
So I'm the worst person. The amount of times I'm getting because I change down, and I really notice a big difference. That I was in fifth, I was in third, going around the roundabout all the way slowly in traffic in third gear. Didn't have to drop to second.
No,
which is great for me because I hate having to drop to second any time, any country road. If I've got to drop to second because there's a bend coming up, I'm just like, for God's sake.
Well, you do that in Land Rovers all the time, don't you?
Yeah.
You go second, build the power, third, take your foot off, they die, you've got to go back to second. You're doing that all the time. Second, third, fourth, third, second.
Yeah.
That you don't have
second. Didn't have to.
No, you don't need to do it now. You literally on the D road down there, we're sitting there. You put it in fifth and you just drive it. It's like driving an auto.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's any faster. It's not any faster. The gearing on my truck alone will stop it being any faster. It's going to do 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
If I really push it, I'll probably get 74 and I'll run out of gears. But it's that drivability.
Yeah, it's trying to make it more like a modern car so that you can drive with modern cars. And
just what's it that we've got bigger injectors in as well. We've got 2.8 injectors in now, so I'm getting more fuel in the engine, and it's still not smoking. So it's definitely getting more air.
It's really a combination of everything. It's not just, there's not one magic thing that's been done, is there? It's a combination of everything.
No.
The bigger intercooler. I mean, the bigger, I know some people have sort of said, oh, it's like snake oil settings. It's not, we never mentioned the price in the videos, have we?
No,
it's
not. It's not an expensive piece of kit.
I mean, the front intercooler from Ali Sports that I'm looking at now for mine, the bigger intercooler, it's 450 quid. That's a lot of money.
Just for an intercooler. But yeah, that's another thing. Mine's got a bigger intercooler. I've got a full-size intercooler, a billet turbo.
Yeah. It's a combination of everything.
Just to
it all together.
Well, like I was saying to you yesterday, it's basically got a stage 1 tune in the engine. I reckon it's probably gained 15, maybe 20% more power.
Yeah.
But my truck's 40% heavier.
Yeah. I think,
so I need every bit of power, every one of those torques. I need every one.
I mean, on the Ali Sport website, they claim that a large intercooler will take you from 115 brake horsepower to close to 150, and that to me is throwing figures out.
Yeah, that's just fantasy.
When you get an honest opinion from Fourby, when they said, yeah, test it, you're only going to get 4 to 5 maybe brake horsepower out of it. That's just being honest. They've been straight, but it's a combination of everything there, which is probably giving you that more. But it's the drivability, making the car drive better.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to build a race car out of this thing.
When you're sitting in the car for 1,000 miles, and we've done it.
Okay, yeah, we should do that again.
Just on one piece of road for 1,000 miles, you don't want to be going. I just want to sit there. I want to drive, and I just want to be able to overtake things safely with the power. The trucks are heavy enough. You've got enough going on at the best of time. You don't want to think, am I going to have enough power to overtake this? Am I going to have to just nail it to the floor to get round this? And I don't have to now. I don't have to think about it. I can just go 5th, 4th, put my foot down, go.
Yeah.
And on a lot of the cases where we've just been, just leave it in 5th and just put your foot down, and it would go.
And my L200 was a different animal this year in the Pyrenees, but the year before, when I had no go, there's nothing worse.
I think you used every gear.
Yeah, there were so many.
At least twice.
Gentle, steep slopes, and you'd get the lorry lane, and you'd sit behind one of these big Arctics thinking, shall I try and take it? Shall I take it? And you take it, and then you're sitting there thinking, oh, I wish I hadn't done this because I'm sat now running alongside this Arctic,
and
traffic's building up behind me, and you're thinking, well, this year was great because since Paul rebuilt the engine for me, I could pull out, boom, I was gone. I think you struggled a little bit to keep up with me sometimes.
I did this year.
I think now, with all those changes,
it would easily do all of that.
Yeah.
So basically, the conclusion is that it's a winner.
Yeah.
It's an easy mod.
Yeah.
It's 2 pipes. I've had to fiddle with mine a bit. Because I've got a different intercooler in. The pipe angle, I've had to just rotate the pipe because they should go in flat. So you've got your first pipe and your 2 pipes go round into the manifold. I've had to rotate mine onto an angle to keep a straight plane because of the way my intercooler's been built.
Full-size intercooler sits about 1.5 inches over.
Narrower.
Yeah.
It's just where they put the pipe.
Yeah.
The other one just sits, a bit further over. But it was no great. You can see it in the video, on the previous section to this, that all I did was actually rotate the pipe. Once I thought I'd have to cut one of the rubber pipes down to get enough twist on it, but there's actually enough give in it to rotate it. Because after I finished filming last night, I took it all back off because I forgot to put my cold air pipe on from the airbox. And when I put it back on this morning, it was clipping the bonnet. So all we did was loosen it and rotate it back again. We've got clearance now.
Yeah, right.
But it's modified. It's back to that. What's it? You modify one thing, you've got to modify 4 other things to get it on.
Yeah.
And we've said this time and time again. Every modification leads on to at least 4 others, doesn't it?
So guys, let us know your opinions. If you've got one, if you fitted one, let us know. If you're still dubious, let us know why. There's plenty of comments. It's discussion. We'll talk about it. But Paul, like I said, I can only comment from the first time disco driver. Paul's driven these things for years and years and years and years, and it's no joke. If you chop his arm off, he's got Land Rover written.
It's like a stick of Blackpool Rock.
Like a stick of Blackpool Rock. So guys, don't forget, like and subscribe, leave your comments, carry on the conversation. Let us know.
See you later. Right, get that kettle on.